Chancellor Rishi Sunak has delivered his first budget to the House of Commons, announcing the government's tax and spending plans for the year ahead. There have been many changes to try and help get the economy moving after 3 months of people not going out and being furloughed. I have cherry-picked what I think the most important things for each section. If you want to see more information or want to read everything that has been announced, you can go to the government website where everything is available to view. So, let's start with the most obvious and challenging thing that has been happening in the world and how the government are looking to deal with the fallout from it. We will then look at other areas and some of the announcements that have been made for them. So, Sunak has unveiled a £30 billion package to combat coronavirus. This includes, and is not limited to, £6 billion in extra NHS funding over the next 5 years to pay for staff recruitment and start of hospital upgrades. £5 billion emergency response fund to support the NHS and other public services in England. Another important thing is all those who have been advised to self-isolate will be entitled to statutory sick pay even if they have not presented with symptoms. Personal taxation, wages and pensions. The tax threshold for national insurance contributions will rise from $8,632 to $9,500. This means that most people will be about £85 better off each year. The 5% VAT on women's sanitary products, known as the tampon tax, is to be scrapped. Tax paid on pensions of highest earners, including NHS consultants, is to be recalculated to address staffing issues in the NHS. Alcohol, tobacco and fuel. Fuel duty will be frozen for the 10th consecutive year. Duties on spirits, beers, ciders and wine to be frozen. Tobacco taxes will continue to rise by 2% above the rate of retail price inflation. This will add roughly 24p to a pack of cigarettes and about the same to a pack of cigars. Business rates discounts for pubs to rise from £1,000 to £5,000 this year. Businesses and science. Systems of high street business rates to be reviewed later this year. Firms are now eligible for small business rates relief will get £3,000 in a cash grant. An extra $900 million for research into nuclear fusion, space and electric vehicles. VAT on digital publications, including newspapers, e-books and academic journals, are to be scrapped completely from December. Environment and energy. Plastic packaging tax to come into force from April 2022. All manufacturers and importers whose products have less than 30% recyclable material will be charged £200 per tonne. Red diesel subsidies will remain for farmers and rail operators, but will be removed from most other areas. There is a £120 million emergency relief for English communities affected by this winter's flooding and £200 million for flood resilience. The total investment in flood defences in England will be doubled to £5.2 billion over the next 5 years. Transport, infrastructure and housing. Stamp duty surcharge for foreign buyers of properties in England and Northern Ireland to be levied at 2% from April 2021. New £1 billion fund to remove all unsafe combustible cladding from all public and private housing higher than 18 metres. More than £600 billion is set to be spent on roads, rail, broadband and housing by the middle of 2025. There will be £27 billion for motorways and other arterial roads, including a new tunnel for the A303 near Stonehenge. £2.5 billion will be available to fix potholes and resurface roads in England over 5 years. A £650 million package has been announced to tackle homelessness, providing an extra 6,000 places for rough sleepers to sleep. The state of the economy and public finances. The economy predicted to grow by 1.1% this year, revised down from 1.4% a year ago. That does not fully take into account the impact of coronavirus. Inflation forecast of 1.4% this year, increasing to 1.8% in 2021/22. VAT has been cut to 5% from 20%. For eat-in or hot takeaway food and non-alcoholic drinks from restaurants, cafes and pubs, accommodation in hotels, B&Bs, campsites and caravan sites, attractions like cinemas, theme parks and zoos. This is hoped that it will allow people to get out more and the overheads for these companies will be a lot lower. The government will also pay a £1,000 bonus for every staff member kept on for 3 months when the furlough scheme ends in October. Mr Sunak has also announced a scheme to give 50% off to people dining out in August. nations and regions. An extra 640 million for Scotland, 360 million for Wales and 210 million for Northern Ireland in funding. Treasury Green Book rules to be reviewed to factor in regional prosperity in spending decisions. The Treasury is to open new offices in Wales and Scotland and civil service hubs in the north of England, employing up to 750 staff. Universities outside the south east of England are to get the lion's share of a new £400 million research and development funding. 800 million for 2 carbon capture and storage clusters, creating 6,000 new jobs in Teesside, Humberside, Merseyside and Scotland. Now, as I said, this is not everything they have announced, but these are the main things that I feel are probably most important for people, the stuff that will affect people the most. It looks like if you live in the north of England, you are going to get a massive boost. They're going to start doing more infrastructure building, more jobs will be available, and all in all, it'll just be a better place to live. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you have had or are going to have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.